Once upon a time, there was a beautiful unicorn named Sparkle who lived in a magical forest. Sparkle had a flowing silvery white mane and tail, and her horn shimmered like a rainbow. She spent her days frolicking with the woodland creatures and using her healing powers to help those in need. One morning, Sparkle woke up feeling adventurous. She decided to wander farther into the forest than she had ever gone before. The farther Sparkle went, the thicker the trees became. Sparkle squeezed between the close-set tree trunks, getting scraped by branches and thorns. Sparkle started to feel nervous being in this unfamiliar part of the woods. She turned around to head back home but didn't recognize any of her surroundings. Sparkle realized with a jolt that she was lost. Sparkle tried not to panic. She knew she just had to stay calm and retrace her steps back out of this thicket of trees. But each direction Sparkle went only led her deeper into the unfamiliar woods. With her heart pounding, Sparkle started to run, galloping at top speed through the tangled trees. She had to find her way out of here. Suddenly, the trees cleared and Sparkle found herself at the edge of a raging river. The current was strong and the waters were deep and fast. Sparkle walked upstream to see if she could find a safe place to cross. But there was no bridge and no shallow area. Cold, scared, and lost, Sparkle did the only thing she could think of. She slipped into the river and let the current carry her. She hoped it would sweep her back toward home. Sparkle was swept down the wild river, kicking her legs to try to steer herself. The waves tossed her about every which way. She could barely keep her head above water. Just as Sparkle thought she couldn't stay afloat for one more second, the river spilled out into a large lake. Grateful to have solid ground under her hooves again, Sparkle crawled onto the muddy shore, soaked and shivering but alive. Once she had caught her breath, Sparkle looked around cautiously. She did not recognize this lake at all, and she still had no idea how to find her way home. As night fell, Sparkle sadly laid down by the lakeshore, hungry, cold, and hopelessly lost. She wished more than anything that she had never wandered so far into the forest. What if she never found her way back home? Hot tears spilled down Sparkle's cheeks as she cried herself to sleep. The next morning, Sparkle woke up feeling determined. She would find her way home today, no matter what. Gazing at the towering mountains surrounding the lake, Sparkle decided to climb up to get a view of her surroundings. She walked to the foot of the largest mountain and began ascending switchback trails. The climb was long and steep. Sparkle's hooves ached, but she refused to quit. She had to see where in the kingdom she was. At long last, Sparkle reached the mountaintop. She eagerly looked around in all directions. To her great delight, she could see the spires of the castle in the distance. Home was near. With a burst of hope, Sparkle carefully picked her way back down the rocky mountain. She used the sun's position to head in the direction of the castle. After several more days of walking over rolling grassy hills, wading through streams, and sleeping under the stars, Sparkle finally saw the edge of the magical forest in the distance. She cantered joyfully down the meadow toward the welcome sight of home. As she passed into the woods, birds chirped merrily in the treetops and woodland animals scurried to greet her. Sparkle had never been so happy. She was finally home safe, thanks to her determination. Sparkle returned to her forest glade, nuzzled the baby bunnies and squirrels she adored, and munched the sweetest grass. She knew she should never have wandered so far from home. But now she truly appreciated how wonderful her home was. Sparkle decided she would cherish every magical moment in her beautiful forest from now on. She no longer took it for granted. Sparkle had learned that sometimes you must get a little lost to find how much you value what you have. And there's no place like home.